morning and welcome to Unity Halton Teal. Thank you for joining us this morning on this wonderful sunny morning, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of you online and anybody that's watching later. And we look forward to having you with us this morning to celebrate this wonderful Mother's Day. Our mission, together please, our mission to lovingly inspire transformation and be of service to the world. And our daily word this morning will be read by Ruth Ellen Henderson. Please go ahead, Ruth Ellen.
The daily word for Sunday, May 11th is Mother's Love. The tenderness of Mother's love shows me the presence of God on earth. Love is a life-giving force, a tremendous power that binds all people in God. It is through this love we are all members of one family. A mother and all those who selflessly share motherly love give warmth and depth to the free-flowing love of God. There is something so pure, so warm and comforting about a mother's love. This is the love that encourages me when I doubt myself, that accepts me when the world feels cold, and that celebrates my successes and helps me shine. No matter how mother's love comes into my life, I recognize and give thanks for its divine source. As the motherly love I have felt throughout my life has blessed me, I pray those who have loved me so tenderly and fiercely know the love of God as they have shared it so generously. And from Proverbs 31, verse 29, many women have done excellency, but you surpass them all.
Thank you, Ruth Ellen.
You're welcome.
And our opening song this morning, A Mother's Love, beautiful song by Karen Taylor Good.
My first home was in your womb. Thank you for the lovely room. My next home was your home too. And you shared with me, and you cared for me like only a mama can do. No ocean floor lies deeper, no perfume is sweeter, and no gift is given freer than a mother's love. My first steps were at your side, each success fed by your pride. You've always held out a loving hand, and you hold me and fold me like only a mama can. No ocean floor lies deeper, no perfume is sweeter, and no gift is given freer than a mother's love. I know sometimes I drive you crazy, sometimes you drive me there too, but the ties are strong, so it don't take long till the love comes pouring through. No ocean floor lies deeper, no perfume is sweeter, no, and no gift is given freer than a mother's love. mother's love. Oh, mother's love. Thank you for sweet mother's love.
Such a beautiful song, and those words are just amazing, aren't they? Anyway, let's carry on here as we can. There we go. So we at Unity Halton Peel are blessed with an abundantly thriving community, and it is done. We state this positive affirmation at the beginning of our service to see ourselves growing and multiplying as we move forward. So the word for the month of May is inspired. I am inspired. I am inspired to do all that is mine to do. Leading from our lesson last week, what is mine to do? And while we are meditating and praying during the month of May, let us all remember to hold Unity Spiritual Center in Windsor and the Canadian Unity Ministries, all of the Canadian Unity Ministries, in prayer. And during this month of May, they'll be having their conference in Calgary, and Wendy and Debbie are on their way to attend that and be our representatives there. May affirmations, repeat them with me. Inner peace. I am calm, centered in divine peace. I am calm and centered in divine peace. Understanding. I am a radiant center of light and understanding. I am radiating center of light and understanding. Healing, claiming divine life, I heal. Prosperity, with a consciousness of plenty, I prosper. With a consciousness of plenty, I prosper. And world harmony. I am a presence of love in the world. I am a presence of love in the world. So this morning we have with us Reverend Dr. Jane Simmons, and Jane is coming to us from the early hours of the West Coast. And I'm going to stop sharing right now, Jane, so you can take it away. And I'm going to try to bring you into the view because for whatever reason, there we go. Let me see what I can do here.
Can you see me?
There we go. I see you now. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Thank you.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's so wonderful to be with you on this special day when we honor our mothers every year. So happy Mother's Day to all the moms. It's a beautiful time for us to celebrate that maternal energy that lives within every single one of us, an energy that is filled with love and compassion and kindness and empathy. And we're going to talk today about the importance of that energy today. I was very close to my mom. She was always my best friend, my biggest cheerleader. She was nurturing, caring, a listening heart that I could always talk to, with a laugh that would stop conversation in a room. Some of you may remember my mom. She was very involved in Hamilton Unity for years. But she died in 2007 after a very long and painful bout with cancer. And by the time she passed away, it was actually a relief to see that she was now free of the terrible pain and the suffering she'd been through. It was really excruciating, especially her final 6 months or so. But she's greatly missed. In the almost 18 years since she's died, there's rarely a day that goes by that I don't think of my mom. I'll hear something or see something or read something, or my daughter will say something and I'll think of her, but with very deep fondness. And there are so many times when I just wish I could talk to my mom. I just wish I could talk to her. And even though I know at the depths of who we are that our connection can never be severed, I still wish there were cell phones in the afterlife. I really do. I'd love to talk to my mom. But whenever that sadness arises, I don't push it away. I allow it. In fact, welcome it and stay with it until it passes. And then what happens, it becomes eclipsed by a deep, rich gratitude for the 50 plus years that I did, was able to be with her compassionate heart on the planet. My talk title is The Rise of the Guardian Heart, and it refers to the kind of nurturing, caring that my mom used to pass on to me. It's the loving kindness that we all can honor and create. We can all honor that on Mother's Day. The word guardian has a number of meanings that are related to sort of legal definitions, but the bottom line is that it means someone who cares. Someone who cares about another's welfare, someone who will offer sanctuary in times of turmoil, times similar to what we might find ourselves in right now, especially those of us living south of the border. Now, interestingly, the very first Mother's Day was actually a call to the awakening of the guardian heart. Mother's Day as a tradition began in 1872 after the horrors of the Civil War, the American Civil War. And it started with two women, Julia Ward Howe and Anna Jarvis. And the original purpose was much more about a mobilization of activism to promote peace than it was about buying, flowers for mom. They called it Mothers for Peace, standing for peace, mothers standing for peace. And then the day eventually morphed into an honoring and celebration of motherhood. But I really love that beginning, the connection there, that the gifts of motherhood that we all have within us can awaken our guardian heart, can bring peace to the greater world. And a world, I think, badly needs it right now. I don't know if you agree with that, but I really see how badly it's needed. So on this sacred day where we honor the power of motherly love, it's a good time for us to remember that even though we find ourselves maybe in tumultuous times, we have the ability to be the answer to those times. We can be the antidote. We can bring peace into whatever situation we find ourselves as we connect into the unitive experience of oneness, one presence, one power, and express the love that is eternally within us and give it a safe passage out into the world. And in this world that we live in with, swirling with constant mean-spirited social media noise and endless distractions, fear-based breaking news. The wisdom of the heart is often overlooked. We're stuck in our head trying to deal with all of this stuff, trying to mentally figure out what to do about it, trying to reason things, trying to tinker with them or fix them. And all the while, we forget that there is a space within us that has never, ever even been touched by the noise and the distraction. It hasn't been touched by the outrage and the fear. It's a sacred dwelling place. It's a refuge from any storm that may have shown up. It's remained there throughout all the storms. It is not fragile. It is not hidden. It is not lost. It is the guardian heart. And the guardian heart knows without a doubt that universal intelligence has our back. Just stands firmly in that faith. But as the activist pastor John Pavlovich points out, even though the universe may have our back, it needs the empathy of our hearts to carry out the work. And he says, move your love from aspiration to incarnation. It's not just about wanting to do it. It's about becoming it, become a greater expression of love in action. We're the ones we've been waiting for. We truly are. So the guardian heart offers love and support to others in need of it, those who are suffering. And when we connect with one another from our guardian heart, there's a much different quality to our interaction. Because we're not trying to fix, we're not trying to rescue, we're not trying to force change. We may take some positive action, but we do so while continuing to see the truth with a capital T. And what that means is that we're recognizing, appreciating, acknowledging, respecting each other as cherished human companions walking the spiritual path together. Can you feel that? Even in the midst of disagreement, we see that in each other. No matter what stories we may have created in the past about the perceived villain, right? We know who that is. When we do that, it stops us from seeing the truth with a capital T. Stops us from being able to see it. And we want to get to a place of realizing that we often will drape others in illusion. Have you ever draped someone in illusion? My illusion about them, I will drape it over them so it hides their light from me. It hides their light from my eyes, their beauty from my eyes, due to the negative thoughts about who they are and about what they do, these stories that I make up. And I don't know about you, I have found myself stuck in that perspective with many of the players who are part of the current political scene. It's so easy to go there, isn't it? Now, of course, just because we practice seeing the divine in others, that doesn't mean we condone cruel behavior. It doesn't mean that we become doormats for any kind of harmful actions. No. While being energized by compassion, the guardian heart is also tempered by wisdom. Compassion tempered with wisdom. And it's an excellent combination. It's a vital combination. It doesn't allow free rein in taking harmful actions. Sometimes the guardian heart stands up and says, no to harming others. It says, not on my watch, while we're witnessing human suffering caused by abject cruelty. It says, I'm not going to stand by and watch my fellow humans being bullied, being lied to, having their human rights taken from them or their livelihoods threatened. No, the guardian heart says no to that. As Walt Whitman says, we need to say no to what insults our soul. But we do so with compassion, with kindness, free from hatred for the antagonist. See this? This is a crucial part of being love in action. We're actually talking here about a total revolution of the heart. Revolution of the heart. And that entails a major shift in our perspective. But the good news is that we don't have to sort of get something in order to be in this revolution, in order to change our perspective. It's really about reclaiming the love and the peace that already live within us, and then sharing it more deeply with the world. We don't have to get anything. We just have to find it within us and let it out. You know, there's a Buddhist tale about a woman who came to the Buddha one day, drowning in grief and drowning in sorrow for the loss of her only child, and she begged him for some medicine that would bring the child back to life. And the Buddha agreed. But he said in order to do so, he would need 5 mustard seeds from a household that had never been touched by loss or sorrow. And so the mother eagerly set out on a quest to find those mustard seeds. Well, years went by. She went from house to house to house, but she never could find a household that had not been touched in some way by loss. But as she did this, she became filled with compassion. And she began to serve others who were grieving. Do you see that? Her guardian heart was awakened. She reclaimed the compassion that was living within her, and she transformed her life. And we can do the same. And when we recognize that the problems we're facing have the potential to become evolutionary drivers for our spiritual growth, now we can use whatever's happening to become fuller expressions of who we've come here to be. So all the current turmoil that seems to surround us can help us not only to awaken, but to grow, to expand, to develop, to evolve into our true selves. I read recently that spiritual evolution is really moving day for the soul, and I love that. We move forward into a higher, more expansive state that can bless the world in greater and greater ways. And we become so much more when our compassionate hearts arise as we learn to surrender and let go of what no longer serves us. But at the same time, we learn to surrender to what does. Let go of what doesn't serve, surrender to something greater that does. The Franciscan priest, Father Richard Rohr, writes that surrendering, excuse me, to the divine flow, it's not about giving in or capitulating. It's not about that. It's not about becoming a puppet. It's not about being naive or irresponsible or stopping all of our rational thinking. No. Surrender is a peaceful inner opening that keeps this wellspring of love flowing. We want to surrender to that love. So we surrender and let go of what no longer serves us or the world, but we also surrender to the divine love that we already are, and we become vehicles for the emergence of divine love on the planet, ultimately becoming an advocate for our fellow human beings, for the earth, for the animals, for the plant life, for the oceans, for all who are suffering. Service now becomes joy. Service becomes joy. Because when injustice exists for any group, it affects all of us. You know, we all live in this interconnected universe. So whatever is happening to any life form in this web of connection, it can't help but affect everyone. Do you remember when they used to have smoking and non-smoking sections in airplanes? It just kind of blows my mind. It's crazy. We're all breathing the air. We're all expressions of the same life. And allowing harm to another, it really harms all of us. So this guardian heart is a conscious calling. It's a noble calling. It's driven by purpose. It's driven by purpose. There's an unshakable will to serve that has room for all, regardless of their relationship to us. There's a protective fierceness to it, a courage that flows from compassion that will cause a group of moms to link arms like this and say no to people being harmed by, as they link arms, saying no, saying, you may not harm these young people. They're not breaking any law. They have every right to peacefully protest, and you're going to have to get through us first. I love it. It's badass. The guardian heart is badass, and we all have that. But it's not just about outer action. There has to be a correlating internal shift from which that action emerges, a shift to kindness and love. Why? Because our inner state is linked to what we experience in the outer world. And without a change of heart in the inner consciousness, no matter how perfect the outer action may be, things will not significantly change if we're stuck in condemnation or blame or polarization. I mean, don't we want to use loving, creative energy rather than condemning energy to shape the world we want to live in? It's a great question to ask ourselves. When I find myself stuck in that place of condemnation, I'm just adding to the turmoil. And I'm not saying not to feel the feelings, absolutely do. But when it's a chronic experience of just being in this really bad place all the time, I have to say, what am I experiencing here and how is it now being reflected back to me? I want to change my inner state so I see something different coming back. I want to share with you some inspiring words found within a poem by a Canadian life coach named Tanya Carrier. This isn't all of it, but some very beautiful words of wisdom that moved me. And she writes this: I hear the world right now. I hear the anguish and the pain, the scarcity, the fear, the quiet panic tucked behind daily routines. I hear it in the headlines, in the rushed emails my clients send me, in the eyes of people who've forgotten how to look up. And yes, she says, it makes me rage. It makes me burn with a fire I don't always know what to do with. But I do know this fear-fed way of living, this obsession with dominance and division, this is not the dream our ancestors whispered into our bones. And it's not the future our hearts ache to create. And somewhere, she says, in the middle of that heat, between anger and heartbreak, something opened, a power I hadn't fully named before. Defiant joy. Not a mood, not a mindset, a force. And I know that defiant joy is a force to be reckoned with. In the midst of all the polarization and the anguish that's happening all around us, to be in defiant joy is a revolution of the heart. And it comes from allowing this guardian heart to arise. And when our guardian heart is awakened, we see each other with the eyes of compassion, kindness, caring, empathy, understanding, unconditional love. The guardian heart cares. It protects. It makes the world safer for all. And it's a shared heart, you see. It's a collective, energetic field of harmony that we create together. As we come into the guardian heart, we join a network of others, and we're creating a whole frequency that brings us higher. It's shared presence. And it doesn't condone suffering, but it can hold suffering. It can sit with suffering. It doesn't turn away from what's collapsing. It believes in the future. In fact, it turns towards it with humility, maturity, integrity that comes from knowing our own wholeness, of stepping into the truth of who we are, of seeing that we all have a place in bringing this world into a new, more compassionate one. And it all comes down to being the change while continuing to be love in action towards all, see? And to be able to see another through the eyes of love while still saying no to the behavior, I call that mystical activism at its best. At its best. And it tells us sorrow and fear never have the final say. In fact, they can become the catalysts that bring forth a collective awakening of the heart. See, the guardian heart doesn't guard in fear, it honors in love. It's an honoring, sacredness. This is not the hallmark heart we're talking about here. It's not some anemic, saccharine, sweet sentimentality. No way. This is the heart that sees clearly. The heart that listens deeply, heart that knows what is true and what is illusion. And this is the heart that dwells within every single one of us. And it is time for us to awaken it, to trust its guidance, to follow it as we work together to make this world a better place without shutting down. You know, a monk once asked his teacher, "How do I protect my heart without closing it?" Teacher smiled and said, "Don't build walls, build altars." And so while we may put a protective arm around someone in need of shelter, we do so without building walls of hatred toward the one we perceive is causing that need, you see. Creating an internal altar means seeing the truth, capital T, for everyone involved with radical tenderness, both the heroes and the villains. Our perceptions. And when we do that, we remember what it means to live from the heart that guards, not with walls, with wisdom, not in defense, in loving discernment. The guardian heart is not a gatekeeper against life. There's not a wall there. There's not something stopping love. It's the holy steward of life itself. Life and love. And it's your truest self. Here is how Tanya Carrier's poem ends. Go and love someone today, radically, quietly, fiercely. Look at someone like they matter. Hold your name in their mouth like it's holy. Speak it with reverence. Let it soften you. Choose tenderness. Choose presence. Because when we love deeply, defiantly, unapologetically, we become untouchable. And that is how the world begins to shift. So on this Mother's Day, let's remember the original reason it was started, to bring peace to our world. Let's remember the universe has our back but needs our heart to do its work. Let's envision together the spreading of loving kindness, defiant joy throughout the world, married with divine wisdom to bring peace. Every single one of us, whatever gender, whatever age, ethnicity, religious belief, whether we're parents or not, all of us have a heart, and we can open it to the greater source within us. We all have the opportunity right now to spread loving kindness, to be a part of a collective awakening and arising of the guardian heart. So let's take a moment right now and do that together. So I'm going to invite us all to get settled into your seats. Relax into your seats. And let's let go of anything that is keeping us from being totally present to this moment. Just let it go. You can pick it up later. It'll be waiting for you. We move our attention deep within the body. Close our eyes if that's comfortable, or just lower our gaze. And begin to follow the breath in and out. Just notice. With each breath, relax a little bit more on the exhalation. Let go a little bit more. And now imagine breathing right into your heart. If you want to put your hand on your heart, you can do that. And as you imagine breathing right into your heart space, bring into your awareness someone that you deeply love. As you think about this beloved person, feel the love in your heart be activated. Feel the warmth in your heart. And allow it to grow, expand. Let that loving kindness move throughout your body. And imagine that every cell of your body is being bathed in this healing vibration of loving kindness. We want to keep on generating love from our hearts. What is it that you love so much about this person? I just have to think of any of my little grandchildren in it. My heart opens wide. Who is that for you? And as we allow that loving kindness to fill our bodies, let it expand and radiate beyond the body. And imagine you are sending this loving kindness to this person that you love so deeply, from your heart to theirs. Let it continue to expand. Now imagine sending this love to someone that you feel neutral about. Maybe the clerk in the grocery store or a neighbor. Take a breath, continue to generate this loving kindness. And now choose someone that you have an issue with. And notice how it feels to radiate that love to this person. And now we take a breath and send that love to yourself. Let it fill your body. Self-love, self-compassion, self-kindness, acceptance, all these things. We want to bathe our bodies in these healing vibrations. And so as we continue to be the love in action, we affirm together, may all beings be at peace. Let's breathe in those words. May all beings be at peace. So we take a breath, and we know that as we continue to bless our world with the love in our hearts, this is the rising of the guardian heart. We become untouchable, and the world can shift. And so for the opportunity to be love in action on this sacred Mother's Day, each one of us experiencing that nurturing kindness that is within every single heart, we give grateful thanks, knowing that each one of us is here to be the one to make the difference, to bless our world. And for this, we are grateful. And so it is.